dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you.
What up, y'all? It's K&B, the Sexy Ninja, and the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Dynamite. Let's talk about Raw, November 18, 2024. Joe Wade on commentary. We started off with Liv, and it just keeps getting better. And this was a pre-tape thing. We already saw the spoilers for it. But Liv, Raquel comes out. We got Candice, we got Tiffy, we got Nia. Okay, that is team one. Then we get Jade, Bianca, Naomi, and Io Sky. And this was the most metal thing ever in my mind. It was just mind-blowing. Because I already knew that Rhea was going to be part of this team. But Rhea Ripley coming out with that face mask and everything like that. Coming out and just grabbing the mic and saying, War Games! And bam, to Liv. Oh my gosh. I was like, how much more metal can she get? So we got War Games set up. Liv, Raquel, Candice, Tiffy, and Nia on one team. Then Jade, Bianca, Naomi, Io, and Rhea on the other. I'm so ready. War Games is building. We got OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline. It's just like nothing. Everything is great. Everything is grand. Then, of course, we get a Bloodline package. Travis Scott was, Triple H was on the stage with Travis Scott. So I was like, man, WWE is shining and riding high. We have LWO versus American Made. This was a fun match, and LWO got the win. It was a mixed tag match. I had a lot of fun with it. Of course, we got the Judgment Day backstage. Really fun stuff here. I'm waiting, like Finn. The demon's coming out soon. I can feel it. You know, we got all these foreshadowing of the background and everything like that. The demon is slowly coming out of the Finn. Then we got the Miz. All this, the Final Testament and the Wyatts. You know, all this crazy stuff. And I gotta say, freaking Bo is looking like Bray. It is freaking scary. But it's also like, I'm excited to see where they're going with this. Gunther and Ludwig. Gunther, you know, he tells Ludwig, like, hey, I got mad at you because I want you to understand that I don't need your help. You know, I don't need you speaking up for me. I am the ring general. Then Gunther tries to attack Damian. Then gets his ass handed to him. And Damian tells him, like, hey, like, you may be the ring general, but in the streets, I'm king. And I was like, damn, that was some fire. That was a fire line right there. And Adam's trying to get his place back in order. Then we get Sheamus versus Braun Breaker in an Intercontinental Championship match. Sheamus has never won this title, so we were building that up. Oh my gosh, man. I had so much fun with this match. And of course, it ends in a DQ. Ludwig Kaiser, he interrupts the whole match. But man, talk about a banger between Sheamus and Braun Breaker, man. I want to see these two lock up again in some in the future. Then we get the Bloodline with Seth backstage. And Seth's like, nah, guys, I ain't going to do it. Even though Bronson Reed is part of their team. It's just a big tease at this point. Then we get Dakota promo. Okay. All right. Dakota Kai promo package. I love it. We get the Judgment Day versus War Raiders. War Raiders get the win because they're on the path of war. And they get attacked after. Got that Wyatt video where Bo's channeling his inner Bray. It's freaking crazy. A Lyra package. I was wondering where she was. I was like, where is Lyra? She came out on such a fucking hot streak, and now she's just gone. You know, she got in that tournament, and then she was like, a rocket was strapped to her back, and she was shooting to the moon. And now, where is she at? We got a little package, though, saying on the horizon. Alpha Academies with Kofi backstage. You know, Kofi's just trying to figure out his feelings. Xavier, you know, gets in the face of Alpha Academy. He's really mean to Otis. And Kofi's like, what is going on? And then we have that Monday Night Raw coming up where it's going to be dedicated to the long journey with the New Day and how long they've been together and everything like that. I'm just excited to see what we're going to do here. And the betrayal is on the horizon. Xavier's going to turn on Kofi because Xavier is just being a dick at this point. We got Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. And of course, this is what I think is what's going to motivate Seth Rollins joining the Bloodline, because he loses to Bronson Reed due to the Bloodline, due to Solo distracting him and everything like that. Talk about a banger of a match. These two going at it, these two fighting. Oh my gosh. And him losing to Bronson Reed, 1-1, and it's the Bloodline's doing. So, awesome stuff here. I had a lot of fun with this Monday Night Raw. I gotta say, match of the night is Sheamus and Sheamus and Braun Breaker just going at it. That was the match of the night, man. But overall, 5 out of 5 for Raw. November 18, 2024. Joe and Wade on commentary. Just can't speak this morning. It's cold, folks. But that was Raw. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. I'm still digging this 2-hour rundown time because everything's tight, quick, fast, and it is raw. Pun intended. NXT. Okay. NXT is here. NXT. Vic Booker on commentary. November 19th, 2024. 2024. Okay, we get an Iron Survivor qualifier match. Nathan versus Eddie. Oh, Eddie. He lost. Nathan got the win. Hank and Tank, Gallus and the family and Axiom. We started off with this big brawl after this. A big fight. Tag team standing up. And this was just a way to kick off NXT. Then we get another Iron Survivor qualifier match. Stephanie versus Jada. Stephanie for the win because of Lola. Lola looking good. Did she have a brick in her hand? That looked like a brick, right? But Lola and Jada's rivalry keeps building, and I cannot wait to see where it goes next. Maybe an NXT Underground match. I'm all for it. Tony versus Brooks with Sean Spears. Of course, Tony gets the win. Ashanti and Carmen versus Dion and Brian Lee Reese. Ashanti and Carmen get the win. Another Iron Survivor qualifier match. Zarya versus Ren Sinclair. Come on. Did I really think that Zarya was going to lose this? Come on. Fatal Influence. Fallon Henley calling out any open challenger that wants to come out and face her. Then, of course, here comes the whole women's locker room, fighting. And Fallon, she's in the ring, and here comes Tatum Paxley. I was like, oh, my God, there she comes. So she strikes, and she wants that women's North American Championship. Then we end it in sadness with a number one contender match. Who's going to face Trick? Who's going to face Willie? He's on commentary. Ridge versus Mr. Chase. And if Ridge wins, Chase U is over. Man, Thea, Riley, Duke, everyone's trying to help, but Ridge is on a warpath. After Ridge gets the win, my heart was broken because they do this amazing shot where they go from all the bodies scattered of Chase U. They got the Chase U shirts in the crowd, and all leads up to Mr. Chase. And it's just a really awesome shot, a really cinematic shot of what this all came down to and the loss of Chase U. So NXT, November 19, 2024, Vic and Booker on commentary. Awesome show. I give it a 4 out of 5, and my match of the night was Ridge versus Mr. Chase, and it just broke my heart because when I first started really digging into NXT, it was right at the end of NXT 2.0, and it was one of those things where I thought I was like, oh, this is so stupid, but they grew on me, and we just became family at some certain point. You know what I mean? We became family, and now I got to see the family break up, and it really breaks my heart. And I just really like if you go watch earlier New World podcast episodes from season 4, when I first started really digging into NXT, you will hear me be like, "Oh, this Chase U is stupid." Now I'm like, "Oh God, they're broken up. Why?" We go to Dynamite. November 20th, 2024, Tony, Excalibur, and Daddy on commentary. They're in a smaller arena, you can tell. And sadly, I saw some photos from this arena. it's a smaller arena than what they usually do, and still not sold out. I was like, oh, man, I'm rooting for AEW, but y'all need to pick up the ball, man. Something needs to happen. Yes, we get awesome matches. Yes, we get some bangers, but man, something needs to happen, and I want AEW to strive. That's what I want. I want AEW to strive. We started off with this big match right here. Will, Hobbs, Ricochet, Mark versus Kyle, Takeshita, Lance, and Cage. Talk about a way to start off the show. Awesome match. But Kyle, Takeshita, Lance, Cage gets the win. We're setting up for Full Gear. Full Gear is right around the corner, literally this Saturday. Are you ready? I'm ready. We get the Mox Cult promo. You know, because Darby is taking on Claudio. Claudio talking in his Swiss language. Darby just cuts to Darby coming in. And terrible. Who's in charge of their audio department? You know what I mean? Who's in charge of that audio department? It's like, seriously, guys, we really need to get the audio checked here. Because a few times I'm like, oh, the audio's bad. Okay, you know, someone oversaw. But it's been constant lately. So Darby cuts a promo. These two are going to battle each other tonight. And then we get Renee with the Hurt Syndicate. And I will say, with the weakest hit. It wasn't even a hit. It was more of a shove from Swerve. They're all right there. Renee's there. And then, she goes, oh my God! She runs away. And then here comes Swerve out of nowhere. He tries to hit Bobby, but it looks so bad. He just kind of just shoves him. and then the commentators say, he has a chain around his wrist. I'm like, but that looks so bad. It looks terrible. I'm sorry. Oh man. And God, it's like you started off with a banger of a match, and then you're going on. I'm like, okay, Mox, Darby, all this stuff. Then he's like, okay, here comes the Hurt Syndicate, and then just this weak ass, whatever you want to call it, to Bobby. Chris. Oh wait, no, we go into Adam Cole, baby, and Kyle O'Reilly. And Kyle O'Reilly's like, he's gonna hurt our friend. Max is 10 steps ahead of us. Blah blah blah. And Adam's like, I got a really bad tan. I don't know. Then we get to the conglomeration backstage, and we got Orange Cassidy trying to be Horde. I love Orange Cassidy, but they're like, oh, Mark Briscoe's like, we're gonna help you, man. We're gonna be out there with you. And he's like, no, guys, I don't want no help. I don't want no help. No help. No help from nobody. Then we get Chris versus Sheeta. Chris Statlander for the win. Okay, of course, here comes Mercedes Moné. And I gotta say, when you get shut the fuck up chance, somebody's doing something wrong. And I told my wife about this, and she's like, Mercedes Moné doesn't deserve this. I was like, I know she doesn't, but it's due to what they're trying to do with her. You had Camille, who came in and who was a badass, and now she's just a grunt. And you still have Sheeta and Chris in the ring, and Mercedes Moné's trying to cut this promo, and the crowd's like, just shut up. And I'm just like, man. And she sends Camille, who's in an arm sling, who really can't do anything, then gets her ass handed to her. I feel more bad for Camille in all of this because she has been reduced to nothing because of Mercedes Moné. Yeah. And then it's just this really sloppy, just whatever between Chris and Mercedes, and she gets one on Mercedes and holds the title. It's just like, damn, it's just bad. It's just bad. Then we get Bobby versus Squash Duo. I was like, cheeseburger, woohoo! I love cheeseburger. And he gets squashed. Then Bobby wins. And he had another person there. I can't remember the other person's name. But of course, here comes Swerve. Because Prince Nana comes out with the chair. The Hurt Syndicate goes. Well, Shelton Benjamin goes after him, and then Bobby gets attacked. And then, yeah, we're really trying to build this feud between these two. Then we get Renee with Mariah and Mina saying that they're going to have the celebration at Full Gear this Saturday. And I'm like, why? But I feel like this is where Mina's going to turn on Mariah, and that's going to be the next opponent for Mariah. I just got that feeling. Then we get Darby versus Claudio. God. So, like, crazy Darby stuff. But, man, there's this table spot that is just awful. I mean, awful. The table doesn't break because Darby's not big enough. Like, he gets thrown from Claudio, and he hits this table. It kind of just like, it goes boom, boom, boing, and it just tilters over with Darby. And I'm like, oh, why? And that's what sets up Claudio for the win. And I'm just like, man, God, this is awful. Then we get Renee with a private party. Then we get an MJF promo. Even for MJF promos, as much as I love MJF, to go deep on Roderick Strong like that, with Roderick's past of his mom shooting his dad or something like that, and then like getting that deep and personal, I'm like, I don't know if this is necessary. I don't know if this is necessary whatsoever. Like, I love MJF. I love when he gets deep and personal, but this just seems wrong. This seems like the wrong heat to get, Yeah. And then we get Renee with the Big Boom AJ. I'm sorry, I don't know who this is. And his son, Big Justice, Big Boom AJ, is going to face QT Marshall. Some of the crowd popped. I was like, I don't know who the hell. They're like, oh, I bet you all the hardcore guys are going to be like, oh, this guy doesn't know Big Boom AJ. No, I don't. So go away. Then we got Roderick with Tony. He cuts a promo. He's like, what you said about my family, Max. Oh, it's kid stuff. It's like, no, it's just cruel. Then we cut to this footage. Because we remember when Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic basically kidnapped Jack Perry, put him on the hood of his stupid bus, and they just take off and they never go back to it. Then Tony, Excalibur, and Daddy are on commentary. He said, we got this footage to show you. And Daddy's like, yeah, we do. And it's Daddy Magic holding the camera the whole time. It's just, holy fuck. Oh my God, this is just... So Jack's in that chair tied up. The van's there. Daniel Garcia's like, you pushed me to this. This is supposed to be wrestling. Whoa. It's just like... And Daniel Garcia grabs what do you call it? An iron song. I don't know. I this is so stupid. I just can't remember the proper name for this weapon. And Jack's like, oh yeah, do it. I'm going to do it. And Daniel Garcia just smashes one of the headlights. And he goes, ah! And then they leave. And Jack's like, ha ha ha, I'm the Joker. I don't know. It's just so stupid. Jericho and Ishii contract signing when they skip. I think they made it all the way to the ring. I don't know. No. Then we get Renee with Jamie Hayter. And they've been doing this to Jamie Hayter's promos. Like, literally cutting her off. Like, even though it's a cutoff that I kind of like with Julia's pack. Like, the Julia stuff is amazing so far. Julia Hart, I cannot wait for her to come back. I'm a big fan of Julia Hart. And these promo packages to bring her back to life have been phenomenal. And this one was just that. Whew. And then we get Yuta versus Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy gets the win. And, of course, here comes the Mox cult. Beatdown. Pockets. Duct tape. Yeah, they put his hands in his pockets and duct tape him. Then they beat his ass. And they all walk off all proud. Here comes the conglomeration. Mark cuts him out of the duct tape. Orange Cassidy stands up. Puts his hands back in his pockets. And Mox is like, oh, my God. How can I beat him? I'm just like... Oh, man, that was a shit show of a Dynamite, especially for a go-home show, November 20th, 2024. Tony Excalibur, Daddy on commentary. Yeah, this was something. Match of the night. I got to give it to Yuta and Orange Cassidy. Darby and Claudio was fun until that spot. Yeah, so this was Dynamite. I give it a solid 2 out of 5. Yeah. And there's good stuff, but there's also a lot of bad. Let's go into my Full Gear picks and predictions. And if I'm gonna pick the winner of the match, and I like to see if I'm right or wrong at the end of the day. So for Full Gear, we'll start it off with the Mariah May celebration, It's going to either reveal her next challenger. Is it Toni Storm? Apparently Toni Storm says, I'm a loser, blah, 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 blah. I'm retiring from pro wrestling. So what's going on there? Or is it Mina turning on Mariah, being the next threat for Mariah? That's what I'm picking there. MJF versus Roderick. Adam Cole's going to interfere in some way, somehow, and causing Roderick to lose the match. MJF is going to get the win. And he's a very happy Gilmore, too. See what I did there? Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. I'm picking Jay White for the win. And Will versus Kyle. Will Ospreay's going to get the win. I don't see him losing to Kyle whatsoever. And I think we're going to continue this rivalry. Swerve versus Bobby. Swerve is going to get the win. Or, I don't know. I really want to know what they're... Like, MVP's handing out those cards like crazy. So what is he going to do here? You know, like, who's going to turn? Is Ricochet going to join the Hurt Syndicate? Ex-WWE guys? I don't know. Ricochet ain't even on this pay-per-view, I just realized. And he needs to quit having Twitter meltdowns. Stop it. Tag Team Championship match, Private Party versus Outrunners versus The Acclaim versus House of Black. Private Party is going to retain those championships. Same with the TBS Championship, Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander. I don't see Mercedes Moné losing that title anytime soon because we have a lot of money invested in her. TNT Championship, Jack versus Daniel Garcia. Jack Perry's going to get the win. I think this is where the Young Bucks are going to come back, the Elite. Then we have the AEW World Championship, Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. They've been building this, and I'm saying Orange Cassidy's going to get the win. And it's AEW rejoice because we have not seen that championship in a while. And what's funny is, like, they keep saying, oh, Orange Cassidy's going to reclaim AEW for us. He's going to bring back AEW, this and that, you know. And then it's just like, well, he's going to take that championship out of the briefcase and put it in his backpack. Give me something that makes sense. I swear. Show of the week, Monday Night Raw. Hands down. And I'm sorry for being so negative with AEW, but lately, by God, it's just... I'm excited for the pay-per-view, though. I know the pay-per-view is going to be good. If Tony knows anything, he knows how to book a pay-per-view, and he knows how to have some dope-ass matches. Do stories make sense? No. But do matches come together? Hell yeah. So, he's not a booker and for long-term. He's a booker in short-term. So, but that's it. That's all. Like and subscribe. Share it with your grandma. Share it with your grandpa. Share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. Tell me what you think your picks and predictions are for Full Gear. What is your show of the week? Raw? NXT? Dynamite? Then we'll be back here by Monday and talk about the rest of the weekend and the pay-per-view. All right, y'all. I'm KMB, the Sexy Ninja. Thank you for everything. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Lose this title.